Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is GSAC playoff time. The time has finally come. My name is Jared Storr. With me tonight, my good friend and color commentator, Jordan Stutz. And Jordan, we got a pretty good matchup here tonight between our number 15 ranked Arizona Christian University Firestorm and the visiting Masters College.
Yeah, Jared, tonight it's a familiar foe for the Firestorm. Split the season series, and then, of course, last year, if everyone remembers, in the opening round of this same tournament, this is where we were. ACU edged out the Masters College, but not without a great showing from Jason Logan, number 11 from the Masters College, and that's exactly what I think you're going to see here, a tough-fought game. ACU looking to advance. Mustangs College for them to make the national tournament, in my opinion. They're going to have to win the GSAC championship, get that automatic bid, but look for Jason Logan to kind of take over tonight and lead his team.
And we'll go over some rosters here for the visiting Mustangs. GSAC all-team, number 5, Dominique Lanier. Number 11, Jason Logan. Number 14, Derrick Fain. 22, Chris Patero. And number 24, Corey Anderson. The starting roster for your ACU men's Firestorm basketball team. Number 3, Brandon Newman, GSAC all-team member. Number 14, Talib Ukta. Number 21, Jordan Block, the sophomore. Number 32, Jackson Helms. And number 44, Mateus Oliveira. Again, we are excited here at Fultz Memorial Gymnasium. The student section is packed. The Mustangs have brought a great following of their own, and we are ready for some GSAC playoff basketball.
Yeah, Jared, I just can't be more excited. This is the atmosphere you look for. Both teams are very pumped up tonight, and as much as I want to see the Firestorm move on, I definitely want an exciting game for the fans watching with us online as well here in the stands.
You know, Jordan, that's a great point. We do want to see a very exciting game, and so far every GSAC game, you know, it's always decided between really 10 points or left, arguably about 4 or 5 points. No lead is safe. Teams can go on runs like that with players like Ukta and Lanier being on part of that all-state basketball team. You know, they can light it up at a moment's notice, and you got to make sure you get at least a hand in the face, because if they get hot, it's scary.
Yeah, I think this is a game in a home atmosphere. The student section's ready. Wide out tonight in Fultz Memorial Gymnasium. They're going to get out to a quick start. They usually play well at home. They've only lost 2 games, and that's really under head coach Rutter's just done a good job utilizing home court advantage. So look for them to jump out to the start, but Mustangs College is going to be right there the whole game.
And for the tip-off, it looks like we'll have Oliveira versus Patero. And Oliveira easily gets the best of that one, corralled by Newman of ACU.
Very important, I think, for ACU to, as we said all year, move the ball inside out and execute plays. Masters plays the zone, and they're going to make ACU shoot. So a way to penetrate, you got to penetrate to break down zones and not just rely on your 3 ball. And
something to watch here, Jordan. Ukta shot the ball decently well last game against Concordia, but struggled mightily from the free throw line, something he does not do. Shoots about 90% on the year, shot 11 of 20. So see if he really picked that up this game.
Yeah, you can see already Masters flustering ACU. Brandon Newman with the 3 to start the game. What a great, his 3-pointers on when he has somebody in his face and it's a quick pull-up. That's when he's strongest. You don't want to get in those situations for ACU, but nonetheless, he had a good shot.
The drive by Logan to the hole, blocked by Helms, rebounded there by Newman. And again, Jordan, you're right. The Mustangs did a great job on that first possession that ACU had. ACU couldn't get it going anywhere. They set some screens. No one was able to penetrate the lane. They just caught a break there, knocking down that 3. Ukta with the fake there, and it is out of bounds off of Ukta. Turnover ACU, Mustang ball.
Kind of pump faked himself, lost control there, but good idea. Again, it goes back to being patient in your offense, especially in a zone. When you run a zone so well, it's one of the best defenses you can run. So look for ACU to be patient, hopefully not jack up a whole bunch of shots that are ill-advised. You see the ball's right in Logan's hands. They're going to look to get him going, I would assume.
Yeah, as Lanier dishes down to Anderson. Little dangerous pass there as Lanier gets the ball again. Again, look for Lanier to try to get going early in this game. And if you're an ACU fan, Ukta is going to try to do the same. Lanier's 3-point attempt on the mark, knocks it down. 3 for him.
A tough shot, pull up in the face. The key to tonight's win, Jared, I'm going to say whoever wins the rebounding game will win this game. I think it's very important for ACU to come out and control the boards. And again, back to Logan, he's great offensive rebounder. So look for him to get involved for second chance opportunities for Masters College.
Uchter tries to answer, Lanier unable to on that three-point attempt. You know, Jordan, I'm gonna play a little bit differently here. As far as the winner goes, I think whichever all GSAC team member, whether it be Uchter or Lanier, has more points, I'm going to go favoring that team just because they are such a vital part of their team's success as Fain buries that three as well. 6-3 Mustang lead. They come in ranked number 7th in the GSAC with a 6-8 record. Meanwhile, your Firestorm come in ranked number 2, only to Vanguard with a 9-5 conference record. Newman's three-point attempt is good as well. And this is something he did very well against Concordia last week, Jordan. He was able to get going early, and the threes is what really propelled his game.
Yeah, Newman's he's a very confident shooter when he steps into his shot. When he lets it fly, has a very good percentage because he takes smart shots as well. But back to what you're saying, the outcome of the game, the GSAC conference player, I think that's a very, very good call on your part to, because both those guys are leaders and produce for their team. And if Talib's off, Uchter, we've seen that ACU struggles mightily.
That they do, and that's why you got to make sure that Newman, he is a great transfer pickup that Coach Rudder was able to find here as Uchter swings it over to block back. A very physical game. Actually, the sophomore Jackson Helms went out with a hip injury midway through the first half and did not return. And it's great to see him back in action as he is a vital role to the post game of ACU. Again, Uchter not able to find anything going offensively. Blocks deep two.
Jordan Block favors the bank shot, usually more on with that. But back to what you said with last game versus Concordia is very physical. Concordia is a very aggressive team as Logan makes a nice move down low.
It was, but an even better tip there by Patero, unable to fall. Good defense by the bigs, Oliveira and Helms. And you know what there? Unselfish play by Uchter on that part. Had a chance at a pull-up three, which is what he's known for, and he dished it to Newman, who has the hot hand. Unfortunately, both missed on threes.
So leaves off early, so you're going to have to look for your other guys, especially the guys coming off the bench. Look for Mason Jones if they're going to get that fast tempo up and down and hit those transition threes.
As Logan drives again in the paint, a very nice spin move, kicks it out to Patero. Swings it over to Logan, or Fain, excuse me.
Good closeout by Talib. Uchter.
And Jordan, you know what I want to see here with Uchter struggling to get going from three, unlike Newman for ACU. I'd like to see him drive to the paint more and use some of his ball fakes as Block throws it in to Helms, who was wide open but just sailed it over his head. I'd like to see Uchter be able to drive and maybe pick up a couple layups like he did against Concordia to get that momentum going.
Well, it's tough with the zone. You want to move the ball inside out, and that's tough just to drive. But penetration is going to be the key, whether he shoots it or not. But for your players to rotate, get an open pass and an open shot. Again, back to Concordia, they're a very physical team, so you won't see as many fouls in this game, at least early on in the going, as Masters sits down and plays in a zone. Not nearly as aggressive as the Eagles of Concordia.
Some subs in for the Firestorm, Navarre, Cornelius, and Jones. As far as the Mustangs are concerned, Stalin and Ireland are in the game as well. And it looks like they are going to get that foul on Navarre.
Yeah. He went straight up, but Coach Rudder signaling said you brought your hands down over, and when you do that, it's an easy call for the refs. But if he would have kept his wrists and his hands straight up, might have got away with a no call there.
Anderson will go to the line for two. Folks, if you are just joining us, we are broadcasting you live here at Fultz Memorial Gymnasium on the campus of Arizona Christian University for this first home round playoff game here for the Firestorm. They do trail 7-6 here with about 14 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the game. My name is Jared Storr, broadcasting with me tonight, Jordan Stutz. As Newman gets the rebound there, Swings over to Jones. Jones in the transition, 3 off the mark. And all the Firestorm players jogging back there. You want to see them trying to fight after that rebound. Again, what you were talking about, Jordan, rebounding is going to win it.
Yeah, definitely second chance opportunity, especially both teams are kind of struggling right now. It's only 7-6, under 14 and a half minutes remaining in the first half. Typically, it's a higher scoring game. Not a bad job by Mason Jones. He does that so well. If he's going to shoot a 3, I prefer for him to be in transition because that's what he's used to. But nonetheless, if these shots can't fall, it's going to come down to who's going to win the rebounding battle, maybe get some points in the paint as well.
Very nice move by Anderson there. Jones with the ball now, has Ukta open at the wing, goes to Newman. Passes it down into Cornelius.
Dan Cornelius, I think, can be a big X factor for ACU because not only does he play out inside, but he also can step outside in his zone. He's going to be able to knock down a three-pointer.
And there Ukta goes, being able to put a pump on of a defender and being able to drive to the lane, miss the shot but got fouled. He will have a chance to, I guess, get some redemption for his poor free throw shooting last week and really try to get on the board and get some momentum going right now.
Yeah, he's even off on free throws right now. You can just see he's not really feeling it. With Ukta, I think it's important he's a shooter, so he's going to be able to, second half even, he's going to be able to get it going, so he needs to stay focused right now. Even if he's missing a few, have confidence in his teammates need to have confidence in him as well.
It is early. We have only played about 6 minutes and change here in the first half. Mustangs lead your Firestorm 9-7, very low-scoring affair. Both offenses struggling, both defenses on par tonight. As a number 4, Reed Shackelford is subbed into the game here too. Stalen trying to put a move on Cornelius, up and under he goes. Nice move for him. 2 points, extends that Mustang lead to 4.
Mustangs post, big man, very physical, very strong down low.
And so far the Mustangs have played a very good zone defense. ACU has not seen a lot of zone this year. More man-to-man. Ukta is wide open in the corner. Instead, nice move to Navarre inside the paint. Jordan, I would have liked to have seen Navarre maybe pump fake and go towards the basket more at that time.
ACU's just having a real hard time right now as Dan Cornelius kind of get lands on, and they're going to have a jump ball in favor of the Mustangs. But what Mustangs are doing so well, if you notice the volleyball lines on a court, you cannot run a play or execute one from there. But where Brandon Newman catches it, or Talib, or the Mason Jones, they're 35, 40 feet from the basket. You absolutely cannot penetrate or break down a zone like that. So you have to be able to maybe drive in, penetrate, and again, you have to move the ball more inside out.
As Jason Timpf has subbed into the game for sophomore Brandon Newman. That shot by Fain off the mark, rebounded by Timpf. As Ukta and company bring it up the other way. Ukta gets a screen from Cornelius, and his three-point attempt off the mark. It'll be Mustang ball as it hit over the top of the backboard.
ACU is going to be in line for a long night if they continue to settle for shots like that. Right away, unless they're very open. Talib Ukta forced a shot. He was doubled at the top of the key when that zone collapses. So ACU has to do a little bit something more on offense if they want to win this game.
Patero back into the game for the Mustangs. Helms and Martin Kim now in for Ukta.
Interesting to see Logan's been out for a couple minutes.
And the scary thing right now for the Firestorm, great thing if you're a Mustang fan, is that they have the lead now, 11 after that 3, 14-7. And again, Jordan, it just goes to prove ACU does not look comfortable against this zone defense from the Mustangs.
Yeah, it's something they've kind of not always struggled with, but it's going to give any team problems, especially when you don't play against it night in and night out. There's a turnover as Martin Kim comes around and steps on the line. So these guys are just playing real stagnant right now, Jared, and they have to loosen up out there.
Yeah, and that is a 30-second timeout there by head coach Jeff Rudder. This timeout will be brought to you by HotelPlanner.com for all of your travel needs.
Okay.
And welcome back after that 30-second timeout by ACU's head coach Jeff Rudder. the Mustangs lead here on the road at ACU at Fultz Memorial Gymnasium over your number 2 ranked GSAC Firestorm, 14-7. Nice move by Stalen as that shot gets tipped out, and it'll be a foul on ACU.
Masters College, Jared, right now is just looking too comfortable shooting the three. And what they're doing is they're moving the ball really well in ACU's man defense. And you see ACU, our guys just start to run around like their heads are cut off like chickens. And then pretty soon there's one guy left open, and they're getting open threes.
Well, they are 3 of 4 from that three-point mark, make it now 3 of 5. But still, ACU struggling at 2 of 8. And that is something that ACU does to really beat the other teams, is they rely on that three ball. You can live and die by it, and tonight not looking so hot for the Firestorm. Jones, great kick there to Kim. Kim with the nice fake to a wide open Timpf, off the mark there as he chases down his own board, and it'll be just a bit out of his arms there. It'll be Mustang ball. Great hustle, though, by Timpf.
Yeah, Jason Timpf is very short. He could have easily taken one more dribble, got to the college three-point line, and that would have been good. So, again, ACU just needs to realize, settle down, and, hit their shots. Brendan Newman started off hot with 6 points, but he has 6 of our 7, and both of those come from behind the arc.
And Ukta knocked down a free throw. Other than that, nobody on the Masters team, as the travel call will be called on Derrick, on Stalen. Nobody has more than 3 points. A very unselfish Masters team playing as a team tonight, and that's what they're going to have to do in order to beat ACU. It's going to be a full team effort, everybody contributing more than 100%. And this is the scary thing. Lanier just subs back in, and ACU still down 7, haven't done anything really since Lanier went out. You'd think they'd go on a run. Not the case. They do trail 14-7. And another big thing besides ACU struggling from 3, as Newman makes a great fake in there. He now has 8 points of the 9, Jordan. ACU has 4 turnovers. The Mustangs have 1. ACU 2 of 8 from 3. The Mustangs 3 of 5.
In basketball, especially playoff basketball, high intensity, you have to take care of the ball. And there goes ACU again, another three-pointer. Luckily, it was off the mark, but Brendan Newman's really bringing the only energy I've seen from ACU thus far and keeping the crowd somewhat involved in the game.
As the sophomore gets bumped there, he's going to be a turnover there.
A great
Ireland
move by
down.
Ireland. I'll tell you what. He didn't hesitate. He did a zero, bring over, and he threw it down. It was just great athletic play, and it's fun to watch if you're a basketball fan.
Yeah, that it was. Always got to love seeing a good dunk, whether it is for your home team or the visiting team.
And now ACU can see starting to go inside, but Masters College is doing a great job collapsing in the zone and making ACU kick the ball out or turn it over. And ACU's just really not settled in this game as they're in a 7-point deficit. Masters College has really sucked the life out of this gym.
They really have. You can almost hear a pin drop as quiet as it is. That fire squad, that student section for ACU, very loud into the opening moments as as Newman had knocked down that 3. Ever since then, the Mustangs have really held this crowd and the Firestorm offense at bay.
Yeah, even the Firestorm bench is kind of.
And you know what? Great play there by Helms. I said last week he suffered that hip injury, but he is not. And talking to him today, said it hurt, but he's not going to not miss this game, and he sacrificed his body out there for a charge.
Yeah, he's a strong player. That's how you know last week when he went out, it definitely hurt him because Jackson Helms is the type of player that's going to leave a game, and you kind of just see, he needs to help his team get in a good position to win this conference tournament. So he's going to be out there and give it all he's got, and hopefully we can use this turnover to our advantage.
Helms setting a screen for Newman. Newman drives in, kicks it to Ukta. Back to Helms. Helms swings it over to Newman, and you want to know, Coach Rutter's harped on it all year long. You got to feed the bigs. They got to get the post game going because it'll open up that 3-point game as Newman knocks down a deep 2. Now has 10 of the 11 points for the Firestorm in tonight's game. If we're going back to what I said, you got to feed the post because it'll get them their confidence up with Helms, with Olivier, with Navarre, and then you can start feeding that deep 2 3-point game that ACU does so well.
Well, if you see there, Jared, the last time they went down to Jackson and then back out to Newman, when your ball goes inside, you're going to have people collapsing sometimes in the zone, so you're going to have a guy, if you move without the ball, wide open. And Newman, to be honest, I think they should continue to run plays for him, maybe let him go a little ISO to penetrate the zone because he has such a nice pull-up jumper. So, and he's really what's keeping the Firestorm close in this game.
Yeah, Patero's shot was off the mark there as Newman got lucky. He didn't turn that ball over there as he was a little off bounce. But going back to that last Mustangs possession, as it looks like DeVita's going to be subbing in here for the Mustangs, they've been passing the ball very well. They've moved throughout the ball. They've found the open man. They've been very unselfish. As I said, nobody has more than 3 points except for Ireland, who does have 5. That time ACU was just able to force a bad shot. And Newman, another off-balance 2, and he now has 12 of the 13 points for the Firestorm. ACU going back on a 6-0 run here. 16-13 Mustang lead.
That's what you need. Maybe the Monsters College doesn't necessarily scout Newman. Obviously, they scout him, but maybe not as much as they would Talib Ukta. But that's what you need, your other players to step up and start scoring. And Newman just is feeling it right now. And hopefully, again, he can just continue to play that. Even if a play breaks down, he has such a nice pull-up jumper. He's able to get away with shots. And
that time, Patero just beating Helms in there for an up and under 2. 18-13 Mustang lead, under 8 minutes to go here at Fultz Memorial Gymnasium. And so far, the 2 stars for both teams, those GSAC all-team members, Ukta with 1 point, Helms with a great move in there is going to go to the line shooting 2, and Lanier only has 3.
A tough play. That was good. Jordan Block kind of just raised his eyebrow, signals, hey, Helms, I'm coming right back to you. And that's what happens when you get the ball moving, because the bottom side of the zone jumped out on Jordan. By the time he moved the ball right back up, quick ball movement, Jackson had enough just to at least make a drive to the basket. He landed hard on his hip, which you don't like to see after the injury. But now he's going to the line and knocks down his first free throw.
And Helms, when he gets going in the free throw game, it's always good because he has a tendency to be a little streaky. So good thing right now if you're a Firestorm fan watching. And Jordan, I think it's kind of funny. You mentioned whoever had the most rebounds would win. Well, ACU's leading that rebound battle 10-6. They're losing. I mentioned whoever was scoring the most with, the 2 stars would win. And technically I'm right, but with Lanier only having 3 and Ukta having 1, I feel a little bit cheated in tonight's matchup between those 2 stars.
You might have some other role players stepping up tonight for each team. So we'll see. But the way the Masters College is playing, very evenly matched or throughout the board and scoring and everything. So that's a good sign for them.
Yeah, and it just goes to show that both teams did their homework with Lanier and Ukta, scouting them, knowing how to stop them. As Lanier's 3-pointer way off the mark there. Good defense by ACU.
Very good
Newman
defense.
Driving the other way and just couldn't control it there as he turned that ball over.
He's going to throw good pass back. Yeah, looking for the but great job by Lanier to get the streaking big name for the Masters College.
Picks up another 2 for him.
And where Newman can get in trouble for the Firestorm is he tries to force too much. In that sense, you might want to bring it out, move the ball. But he is good at, being so quick dribbling that some people have to foul him.
Ukta with a great pass into Oliveira. Swings it back out to Newman in the corner, and then sets a screen for him.
ACU isn't really moving with the ball that well.
And Ukta with the deep 3 buries it. And you got to love to see that. Cut that lead to 3 here.
And the fans, Jared, you can just see the fans have been waiting for that. And Ukta now, he just needs 1 shot. He's gonna fill it. But great job by Newman keeping that ball alive and finding him for the 3.
He lucked out a couple times. He got caught in the air and was able to pass that off. But good pump fakes there by ACU. Good ball movement led to Ukta's first 3 of the game as Ireland unable to answer there. 20-17 Mustang lead over your Firestorm, just under 6 to play. Great pass from Newman to Helms for an easy bucket, and ACU's coming right back. It's actually going to be a timeout by the Mustangs. Sorry, Jordan.
No, Coach Martin's just livid right now. His players not getting back. ACU really just taking over on the offensive end, hitting shots, but actually moving inside and out and just playing more physical with more energy. And when your energy level's up, the student section's level is going to get up. When theirs up, yours is going to get back up. So you have to feed both ways, even if you just have fans in the stands.
Yeah, we mentioned it's kind of a game of runs here, and that's what we've seen as ACU now only trails by 1 point to the Mustangs. This timeout brought to you by Custom Imprints, supplier of the GSAC tournament shirts. Get your championship shirt on Championship Tuesday next week at Concordia University. And we are back here live at Fultz Memorial Gymnasium on the campus of Arizona Christian University, where the number 2 ranked GSAC Firestorm, number 15 ranked in the country, are taking on the number 7 ranked Masters College Mustang in the GSAC. The Mustangs do lead 20-19 with 5.5 left to play in the first half.
Yeah, Mustard's College just took a quick timeout, trying to get their players refocused as ACU kind of went on a little run there as they hit a shot, nice shot right at the shot clock. But ACU trying to cut the lead as much as they can, if not take the lead in the half right now, because Masters College has come out and really played a solid game all the way around.
Anderson leads the Mustangs with 7 points again as Newman's three-point attempt, and he's going to get fouled going to the line for 3. That foul's going to be on Lanier.
Coach Martin not happy, but on a three-point basket, Jared, or attempt, you cannot, even when a player's coming down, if you're anywhere underneath him, that's going to be easy call, an automatic call for the rest every time. And that's unfortunately for the Masters College against number 5 Lanier, you do not, that's only his first, but the further he stays away from foul trouble, the happier the Mustangs will be. And Newman's going to the line, just needs to knock down these free throws.
Yeah, ACU not shooting well from the free throw line now, 2 of 5. Something that is going to hurt them if they get out of this game with a win, later either in the GSAC Conference Championship Tournament or in KC, and that's a big thing. ACU already looks like they have an automatic bid, most likely. Still would love to see him. Last year they were runner-up as Newman knocks down 2 of his 3. This year, players hoping to get back to that game and this time win it.
Yeah, what I like about the GSAC Conference is this time of year in the tournament, every team plays so tough. Regular season too, but this is where you're going to really, shape your get ready for the national tournament if you're fortunate enough to go. And for the Firestorm, they definitely have a lot of work to do if they want to make a run at a national title this year. I've seen they've just been kind of an inconsistent team as of late. They've been playing very well, but these are some fine 2 games they can use, not only win a GSAC Conference title, but a national championship.
And the Mustangs passing the ball out there as Ireland shoots the deep 3 off the mark, rebounded by Jones. And, Jordan, the teams play so tough because right now only Vanguard has a lock at nationals. They are the only team. ACU most likely does, but other than that, everyone's playing for a spot, hopefully at KC. And plus, you can win a GSAC championship to boot. As Uchter knocks down that jumper there in the lane, gives him 6 points in the ballgame. ACU now leads for the first time in this ballgame, 23-22.
That's a great sign again. Uchter just coming down, feeling it better and better. As you mentioned with the national tournament, GSAC's so strong, they usually have 3, sometimes 4 teams, so that's half the conference making it to the national tournament. That just shows you how tough this conference really is. I wouldn't even be surprised if Masters College can make it at least to the conference title game. That would give them a little bit of a shot.
As Fain gets the ball guarded by Uchter. Swings it to Logan. And again, Lanier not in the game right now, Jordan, for the Mustangs. But they've played so far, and no travel call there. Very well without him in the game.
Yeah, I really think Masters maybe just want to give Lanier a little bit of a rest. Him and Logan and maybe Fain or some guys they're going to look to at the end of the game, whether they have to play catch-up or maintain a lead. You don't want those guys tired. You don't want them in foul trouble. So if you give them a rest now in the first half, close game, you're going to be able to maybe sustain them and keep them for a little bit longer down the stretch when the game comes down to the wire.
As the senior guard, number 11, Rod Hudson, subs into the game for the Firestorm. Also new players on the court for ACU, Navarre and Jones and Cornelius. So everybody new out there other than that first GSAC team member, Talib Uchter. Nice save there by
hustle.
Ireland.
Very good hustle. You don't want to see these guys coming off the bench for the Firestorm to lose any momentum their teammates have given them. You got to come right off the bench and not skip a beat.
And these Mustang postmen playing very physical, and so far they have just burned ACU on that physicality and in that post game. But Navarre coming up clutch for ACU, getting that charge
just
foul.
like he did against that exciting game versus Concordia. ACU got a charge right at the last second to preserve the win. And Mike Navarre's not a stranger to step up and use his body to take that charge as he just did. And hey, if you're going to be able to get it, let's turn those turnovers into points.
And you see Uchter signaling out there saying, pass the ball out. It's don't just look at me, look for the open teammate. but he's not going to be shy of shooting that wide open three.
They're doing a good job moving the ball. You have that little middle open, and there it is with Mike Navarre. That's the first time I've actually seen the ball move all the way around, feeling comfortable, and then you see how wide open the middle of the paint was, and a nice knockdown by Navarre.
Completely agree with you, Jordan. It looks like for at least a brief moment, ACU has figured out this tough Mustang zone defense as they have taken now their biggest lead in the game, a 3-point lead. But another great move into the paint by Anderson, this time not able to get that bucket to fall.
That's what you like to see, the Firestorm. 4 white jerseys collapsing in the paint to grab that defensive rebound.
And, it's like when the coaches say you want to have 5-6 passes before you're allowed to shoot. So far in this possession, ACU already at 5. But, that just helps open up the floor and gets that guy with a better look than maybe, someone like Ukta, who you expect to knock down a 3. Jones coming in off the bench, you expect to hit that big shot. Gets a guy like Cornelius or Navarre, an open little floater in the lane to give them an easy 2, build up the confidence, and get your offense going.
Most definitely. Be careful in the zone right here. You don't want to pass the ball just right into that corner. Sometimes that's an easy trap for a team, so ACU cannot become complacent, make unwise or knowledgeable decisions.
Great pass from Cornelius to Navarre underneath. Navarre gets blocked there by, it looks like, either Anderson or Stalen.
Rudder wanted the foul there. I thought that was a little bit of a contact, but just nonetheless, I thought it was a good no call, good physical play by Masters College.
And they're going to call travel on Anderson. Not surprised. There have been a few possessions. Anderson kind of lucked out with shuffling his feet just a hair. And that time, the big fella gets called. ACU leads this game, folks, 25-22, a minute and a half remaining. If you're just tuning in, this game brought to you live here at Fultz Memorial Gymnasium on the campus of Arizona Christian University.
You see Arizona Christian a little bit more aware now of what they have to do to get this zone broken down. Move the ball up top, do not get pushed back into the yellow line, and then work that high post. And once it goes in there, rotate down with your wing 2 and 3 guards and maybe get an open shot. Stretch that zone defense out. Give yourself a chance.
Jones lucked out there as dangerous pass to Hudson. Back to Jones in the corner for 3, off the mark, kicked out from Navarre to Hudson.
Oh.
ACU really lucked out there.
It looks like it's going to hit off there. And Masters College, I really didn't see. I thought Rodney Hudson fell down, made a good bounce pass. I thought Cornelius kind of mishandled it, but I guess it was last touch by Mustangs player.
I agree. They're going to say it went out on one of the Mustangs as Hudson fell down, making that bounce pass to Cornelius.
You got to take what you can. Oh, missed the wide open. You have to be patient. I think players get in their head that, hey, 5 seconds is going to be right up, but 5 seconds is longer than you think in a sport.
Yeah, as Oliviera subbed in the game for Navarre. Ukta's 3-point attempt in and out there just off the rim. It'll be out of bounds. Mustang ball. A minute 6 seconds remaining here in the first half of the opening round of the GSAC playoffs.
Very slow start. Picked up a little bit of tempo as the last 10 minutes have gone on, but for both teams, they're going to have to go in at halftime and make a couple of adjustments, whether it be the Firestorm getting something going on offense. Actually, both teams on offense haven't really got a consistent play going. Look for an instant there that the Firestorm are going to be able to, but Masters just running a really effective zone.
They have been. Ukta shut down to only 6 points, but for the Mustangs, Lanier, granted, he hasn't played a whole lot, been on the bench a majority of the first half. Not exactly sure why, not in foul trouble, but he does only have 3 points in the game.
Great defense, but no rebound for the Firestorm.
As he gets his own rebound on that missed layup. But so far, both our predictions are true. ACU leads the rebound battle. They're up 3. Ukta only has 3 more points than Lanier, 6-3, but I said that'd be the factor. So far, Jordan, we are correct in our picks. But you know what I love to see, though? The Stars haven't necessarily scored what we thought they would, but they've been facilitators. They have been unselfish because they want to get a win for the team more than they want to show up the stat sheet.
Yeah, for Rodney Hudson playing some great man one-on-one defense for the Firestorm.
As Jones
Mason Jones just off. He might have got a little pass there to Mateus or Hudson. Nonetheless, the half is over with the Firestorm leading by 3, which is surprising considering how the first half went for both teams.
Yeah, ACU does lead 25-22 in the first half of this playoff round in the GSAC tournament. Leading scorer for the ACU Firestorm team, Brandon Newman, the sophomore, with 14 points. And for the visiting Mustang College center, number 24, Corey Anderson, with 7. We'll be right back in about 15 minutes with the second half of this first round GSAC playoff game. Welcome back to tonight's action between your number 15 ranked ACU Firestorm in the NAIA rankings and the Mustangs from Masters College. So far, it was a decent first half. Jordan broadcasting with me tonight. My name is Jared Storr. We are broadcasting to you live from Fultz Memorial Gymnasium. And Jordan, I say that because I was hoping to see some fireworks from Uchtdorf and from Lanier, the two all GSAC members of that team. However, not really the case. Lanier only with 3, Uchtdorf only with 6. It's been unselfish play on their part. Lanier not really playing a whole lot for the Mustangs, not in foul trouble, just not really playing. But it's been Corey Anderson, the big for the Mustangs, with 7 points and 2 boards, and Brandon Newman, the young sophomore, with 14 points, 2 assists, 4 boards, and a steal for ACU. That's really gotten these two teams where they're at right now.
Yeah, Jared, sometimes you expect, the all-conference guys to start, the stars of the team to just really take over in this atmosphere, but what people sleep on a lot of times are other players, and Newman and Corey Anderson for the Masters College, not only do they lead their team, but Newman has 14, Corey Anderson has 7, but you look at their shot percentages, Anderson for Mustangs has shot 4, but he's 3 of 4. Newman shot 6, but he's 5 of 6. So they're shooting high percentage shots, which is smart basketball in the long run.
Olivier knocked down that very difficult 2, but on the other end for the Mustangs, you have Fain knocking down a 3 that was wide open in the corner. 27-25 ACU lead, and I love this because both teams are putting up some points here in the first few seconds of the second half, which is a lot more fun to watch than two defenses going at it in the first half as Helms gets that ball stolen by Lanier. Up comes Fain. Fain easy layup, and we're just like that. We're tied at 27.
Yeah, not what you want to see, really want to see you get back on defense, but both teams are probably going to settle in pretty quickly here, and I think the tempo is going to be a lot higher than it was in the first half, maybe a little bit more physical as well.
As it looks like Lanier is going to pick up that foul on Newman. That'll be only his second foul, team's first of this second half. And, before Oliveira made that 2 to put the Firestorm's first points up in the second half, points were only scored by Helms, Uchtdorf, and Newman. So ACU is going to have to do a lot better job this half distributing that rock and feeding those teammates. Otherwise, I feel like the Mustangs, you keep a team like this in the game long enough, they're going to start believing they can upset you at home, and they're going to pull out a victory.
Almost definitely, and I can guarantee in the Masters College, their mind, they've already beat ACU once this year. It's not even an upset to them. They should be in their position. A couple things may have not gotten their way earlier in this year, but, Jared, as you said, you cannot let a team just stay right there with you in the playoff atmosphere. You have to do something to create a difference. And, again, they're winning the rebound battle, but they've also turned the ball over 7 times. And when they create turnovers, they're not necessarily getting points off of that. So you have to get one of those things going in your favor to get momentum. And
frustrating there because Uchtdorf picking off, up until that point, the Masters only had 3 turnovers. Uchtdorf gets a steal there but steps out of bounds. Great for a split second, but then, you're a little bit bummed there seeing as Uchtdorf turned the ball over himself. As Lanier gets that handoff teammate Patero. Back into Fain. Uchtdorf on Fain as Newman guards Lanier. Jordan Block, haven't said much of his name tonight, but a crucial factor in ACU's game as that 3 in and out by Fain.
Great, strong effort by Mateus Oliveira to rip that ball away and find this open guard Uchtdorf, who's going to pick up the foul.
And it looks like that foul is going to be on Lanier as well. Just like that, he picked up 2 quick fouls, Jordan, in the first half, and he's sitting here at 3 fouls, only 2 left, and there's still 18-plus minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, he had an early one in the first half, and right after that I mentioned that's not a player you want to get. Again, he didn't necessarily have the greatest first half you'd see, but he's a playmaker, and he can hit some big shots. So, he's going to be on the bench here at least that next 5 to 8 minutes.
As Newman hits Olivier, he was wide open at the free throw line, missed that jumper, boarded by Logan as he dished off to Ireland. Up come the Mustangs of Masters College.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily see Logan get going in the first half either, but that's one guy who can just get it going, and once he does, he is a force to reckon with.
And there Anderson, again, led his team with 7 points and 2 boards in the first half, trying to put a post move on Oliveira, and he bounced that one. It looked like off of Oliveira's foot, out of bounds. It'll be Mustang ball. And that's another interesting matchup So far the bigs, Oliveira and Patero, have really had their way with Helms and Oliveira and the other bigs for ACU. So it'll be interesting to see this half if ACU made any changes in the locker room, as there are 3 seconds left on the shot clock. That shot by Ireland knocks it down right at the buzzer, and they've taken a 30-27 lead. 17 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this ball game.
You got to be careful. Look, you also see Masters, the Mustangs, their bench is up and going, and ACU coming down and maybe trying to go on a frantic. It's a 3-point lead, Jared, with most of the second half left. So you really got to get this momentum back in your stands. Our fans are quiet. You can't let Mustangs do what they did in the first half.
Yeah, Jordan, that's a great point. It is a 3-point lead as Anderson blocks Newman's shot, but boarded by Oliveira. Uchter with the step back three, got it. Gives him 9 points in the game, and that's what you want to see if you're a Firestorm fan right now. You want to get Uchter going very early in the second half, as he was not able to in the first half. If you're the Mustangs, you got to hope that somebody can get a spark there like Anderson, or you get Ireland shooting that three, because Lanier is out with 3 fouls.
Yeah, definitely. There's another 3. ACU does a better job containing the 3-point basket, forcing kind of a tough shot, but Uchter,
another
deep
three from Uchter, almost at that Jimmer range there. I mean, he knocked one down from the black against Concordia, but right now with him struggling, you'd rather have him shoot a closer 3 or a mid-range jumper, as block gets burned by Logan. To Anderson, back to Patero.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was hinting at earlier. You want to take good shots. When you come down and you still up a shot like that, you're not really getting anything off your great defensive effort. You got the stop or turnover, you come down and you got to be able to convert turnovers into points.
As Anderson splits the 2 bigs for ACU, Oliveira and Helms. And that's something that, he has had their way with those 2 bigs all day. Helms just doesn't really seem like himself tonight. You can tell the hips bothering him just a little bit. He's not really showing many signs as Newman.
Look for a dunk right here unless Newman fouls him, but you just see the crazy athleticism. Hopefully Logan's not injured. He's about to rock that one. He lost it and still able to finish the dunk, Jared.
And Jordan, don't mean to cut you off there, but the big thing about that, Logan's dunk just there was huge. If this was at home, the crowd would be going nuts. But Uchter answered on the other end with a 3, and it doesn't look good because it looks like Logan hurt himself throwing down that dunk.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. He's such a talented player, fun guy to watch. You don't want to see that, especially for a Masters College. But Uchter's a smart player, and he knows that could silence a crowd. He comes right back down, hits a 3 to get hit, keep his crowd in it. But again, it kind of mirrors last year in the same situation. Logan got a breakaway dunk, and to me, it should have been on SportsCenter, and that just shows his. I don't want to keep harping on that, but his crazy athleticism. He lost the ball in the air, still brought it back and finished it.
Oh, he threw that down with authority.
It's just amazing to see his strength.
It looks like the trainer's looking at him here on the sideline. Again, don't really know what's wrong. He did kind of land a little hard on his shoulder. Great move in the paint by Stalin on Helms. So a 36-33 lead by the Mustangs here at the Masters College, visiting, playing a very tough ACU-ranked team, number 2 in the GSAC, 15 in the country, where they don't lose at home. As Uchter again from the corner, and that's Shackelford drives the lane. Nice move, but unable to finish, and that is boarded by Jones. Again, look maybe for Jones to hit a clutch 3 here. Uchter drives in the paint. Nice move. Can't get the floor to the fall, but gets his own board.
And he actually drew the contact right there. Kind of fell right back to him, put his body in it. It could have gone either way. Again, I'm going to side with the refs and a good no call. But at the same time, a strong finish, and Uchter's kind of come alive in the second half.
But again, the Masters lead by 1 point here at Fultz Memorial Gymnasium on the campus of Arizona Christian University, able to do what a lot of teams can't, and that is hang with the Firestorm at home. Again, ACU's only lost 2 games under head coach Jeff Rutter's reign here at home. So very difficult place to play is Fultz Memorial Gymnasium as Newman drives the lane.
I don't think they're going to count it as away from the basket. Newman's actually got that call to go for him a couple different times. He put so much pressure on the transition side of Masters. They're fouling him near the three-point line. He's had a couple turnovers, but that's going to put them in foul trouble, and hopefully ACU can get to the line early in this first half.
Yes, so far ACU playing very well. No fouls, knock on wood, this half. However, the Mustangs do have 4, and it looks like Logan is okay, looking to sub back in here as soon as we get a break in the action. Navarre with a great screen for Newman. Newman to Jones in the corner. Jones knocks down that 3.
And there it is. That's actually what I've been waiting for this game. When we have a crowd like this, Mason Jones is one of the crowd favorites, if you will, because he's so animated. When he hits a 3, he has a big smile, and it really gets ACU fans going.
Oh, he feeds off of that crowd energy. I mean, he is a very emotional player. It can be a good thing for you, and it can be a bad thing for you. But when you knock down shots like that and get the crowd going, not a whole lot can really phase you after that.
Most
Tries
definitely.
to get a steal there in on Anderson.
Great defense by Mike Navarre right now. Mason Jones had a dig, and that's going to be over and back. But Mike Navarre just being a steady, sturdy tree right there, going straight up with his arms. And there's nothing. Masters College was at a standstill. No one was moving without the ball in favor for the Firestorm. Got the turnover.
And you got Anderson and Logan back into the game to go along with Stalen. Again, the bigs for Masters have had their way against ACU here tonight. ACU has led heavily on the shooting of Newman, who has 14 points, and Ukdu has come on strong here with 8 points, Jordan, in the second half, which is what you have to do if you're ACU, because right now Masters is hanging with you. It has been an all-around team effort. However, Fain and Ireland lead with 8 points due to great board there by Helms.
Oh, he came down. He kind of looked like he had number 24 Anderson in the chokehold, but that was very unintentional. It's going to be an over-the-back call, but you see Masters player, who is that? Is that going to be
it looks like
Patero? No, it's number 34.
Stalen is having some words here. And it looks like our teammates are getting a little chippy right here. Stalen having a conversation here. Ukta with the refs as well. And it looks like they cleared things up and good to go.
This is what you love to see from your leadership. Navarre, not many people noticed, but the previous chip down here, Mike Navarre and Stalen got tangled up. Stalen went to the floor, so did Navarre. It kind of got sketchy, but then you come back, and that's the kind of stuff that builds up into situations like that. But good job by Ukta to kind of separate the two. Unfortunate play down here. Jackson just Helms went over the back, caught him by the neck. So good thing. Ukta's doing a real good job keeping his team composed.
Yeah, and that is now 2 quick fouls on the ACU Firestorm team. The Mustangs do have 4. Looks like Logan's going to take this ball out in front of his own bench. And it looks like they are going to tee up Mason Jones.
I'm not sure what happened. He just looked over and the technical was assessed. Jones may have been jawing at the ref a little bit. Coach Rudder really out of sorts. He's down at the other end of the court right now, so he's allowed. I think Coach Rudder's just telling him, let me talk to the refs, let me do my job, and that's not something you want to see in a game like this.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, Jordan, and sorry to cut you off, Jones is a very emotional player. Sometimes he can let the emotion get the best of him. In this situation, he did. Granted, we're not on the court, we're close enough, but we couldn't hear what he said as that shot is made by Fain. So it looked like, again, he was just running his mouth, which he has a tendency to do. And in that time, it cost you. Not only are the Mustangs getting 2 free throws, which Fain just knocked down a second one and tied it up, they get the ball back now too.
Yeah, that's not something you want to see in such a tight ball game. But now what you're going to see is maybe a slower rest of the game because the refs are going to be looking at certain players now, being quick to the whistle. And unfortunately for Jones, if he goes back in there, it's doubtful he'll get another technical, but if he does, that's 2. He's ejected. So now you got that plays a little bit of a factor, and the refs are probably going to call a little bit more a tighter game here on out.
And you can see him, Jones, still a little bit down at the end of the bench for ACU. And to be honest, I would not be surprised if you don't see Jones in the game for quite a while. And it is going to be a blocking call called on Mike Navarre of ACU. Going back to that, that emotion, he's going to have to take some time to unwind on the bench. The problem is that he'll have a tend to still run his mouth on the bench, and Coach Rudder isn't really a fan of that. So it might be a while before we see Jones back into the game just for the sake of not wanting to get the emotion, have his emotions get the best of him.
And really in this kind of game, you're going to get emotions. I don't think it'll take too long for him to calm down. He's going to have to calm down quickly because his team's going to need him to come in. But Coach Rutter's just, there to say, hey, let me handle talking to the refs. That's what coaches, assistant coaches are for. The players just need to kind of, without being rude, keep their mouth shut and, play the game of basketball. I think there's a certain fine line. You can talk to a ref, and a ref will talk to a player, but once a ref says, hey, enough's enough, then that's when you kind of move on.
That ball rebounded by Stalin. Logan comes the other way, kicks it back to Stalin. As Olivier is on him. Nice move by Stalin underneath the basket, and it's going to be whistled there. He'll go to the line shooting 2. But, you feel like the momentum that ACU had, Jordan, has just kind of been sucked away through poor playing. And like I said, ACU's picked up 5 fouls in less than a minute here. And the Mustangs have regained the lead with 39-38, 11:54 left here in the second half. And they got 2 free throws to boot.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a play you can allow go with Stalin. Not really. I mean, if he's going to get his points, I assume he's already made position inside. You can't let a player like that go inline to inline almost for a reverse layup and then get the foul too.
As Tim gets that board.
And Stalin just took out his own player. He's just playing aggressive but kind of out of control right now. As Jason Tim makes a great pass down low, passes up the three-point shot for a wide open Mateus Oliveira, and that's just a heads-up play.
And that's something it's really showed maturity this year, because at the beginning of the year, Tim would not have passed that shot up. He is a very good three-point shooter, streaky at times, but very unselfish play, which is what you need out of your guys, as Stalin makes a great move inside the paint for a hook and 2 to really give up the 3 and give it to Olivier, who has a better percentage shot.
Yeah, most definitely.
42-40 lead by the visiting Mustangs of Masters College over your ACU Firestorm, as it looks like Stalin's going to get called in there for reaching on Oliveira. Both teams with 5 fouls now in the second half.
And Stalin needs to be careful. Again, this is what mounts up to a technical or something more. And again, we pray and hope that didn't happen. That's his third personal. But Jared, I've been watching Stalin slowly but surely becomes more frustrated with certain calls or certain things going his way. There after the missed free throw, he just charged kind of uncontrollably to get that ball and took out one of his own players. Here, he went over the back. So you have to be composed. You want great effort, but sometimes that can lead you to play uncharacteristic basketball.
Yeah, DeVita subs into the game now for Fain. Fain leading scorer for the Mustangs with 11. Anderson does have 9, and
DeVita just picked up that foul. I actually thought that was going to go the other way against Newman. He grabbed the ball and kind of brought his elbow up, and a lot of times that's going to be a flagrant. Fortunately enough, no one was hurt from that, an elbow swing or a technical.
And Ukta knocks down that 3, doesn't get the foul called, but you know what? I'll take it here. ACU's taking their first lead in about 4 minutes of action here on the 3 of Ukta. Now leads both teams with 17 points, 3 of 9 from the field now with the 1 and 2 free throws.
He got up with a smile on his face knowing, hey, we're about to, he loves the big-time games and the fans in the stands getting him going.
He's 4 of 10 from beyond the arc. Again, struggled heavily in the first half, but coming on strong here in the second half. What a great move by Logan, dancing his way into the paint.
Logan, just a great athletic move and finish. It was a really good help side by the Firestorm, just a better awareness and move by Logan.
And it looks like Cornelius draws the foul there. He'll go in shooting a 1-and-1. That's going to be on Logan.
Now, I'll tell you what, Jared, right now kind of predicted this game is going to be a little close. High intensity, both teams playing back and forth, dating back to last year. Last year, ACU knocked out the Mustangs from the same tournament, same game. But the Firestorm need to stay composed as well and kind of look towards the future. Now, you have to make it out of this game, but you have to realize they're going to play the winner of Hope and Concordia, who also they split the season series with. So, and that's just a quick turnaround on Saturday. So hopefully they can come out with a win, but also play a little bit smart and kind of keep their bodies healthy given they win.
And we are all tied up here at 44 at Fultz Memorial Gymnasium on the beautiful campus of Arizona Christian University, as DeVita shot off the mark, boarded by Oliveira. Up comes Ukta and company. Ukta really driving the tempo here. Tried to put some moves on DeVita, and that ball is knocked out off of Ukta.
Ukta just trying to do a little munch right there. He's been struggling all game with those little moves, and he's actually had at least 3 turnovers just by himself, losing the ball that I've seen. So no need for extra showboat and just come down and get into offense.
As Timph on Logan. Nobody's really been able to stop him all game long. Stalin trying to put some pump fakes on Cornelius. Little kiss off the backboard, another 2 for him, gives Stalin 9, and his team a 2-point lead. Just under 10 minutes to go here in the second half of play. It looks like Helms will be coming in a break here as Jones to Timph. 20 left on the shot clock. Timph, the nice drive, and turns the ball over.
That's just Jason Timph, the zone collapsed really well, and that's exactly what you wanted when you drive, but now kick it off to your wide open Dan Cornelius. More than capable hitting a 3, but you just have to be aware. You did your job. You drove, sucked in the defense. Now kick the ball out and get a 3.
Couldn't agree with you more there, Jordan. Again, Anderson in the paint on Oliveira. Kicks it out to Ireland. Coach Rudder wanting to travel. Nice move in the paint, and an and 1.
Stalin really just kind of taking over down low and working well with his partner in crime, number 24, Anderson, who just was at the right place, right time, and by the time Mateus came over, he got fouled.
Yeah, you know, both with that basket, Anderson actually now has 11, and Stalin with 9, both crashing the boards, playing very well, and the Mustangs lead your ACU Firestorm 48-44, just under 9 minutes to play. This timeout brought to you by Duke's Huntington Beach. Duke's is a proud sponsor of the GSAC All Sports Award. On the beach at the Huntington Beach Pier, Duke offers sunset views, great food, and a fabulous staff.
Jared, coming out of this half, Coach Rudder very, very displeased, I think, with his team's effort and their overall play right now. And you could hear it all the way. You know, we're not too far from the bench, but even over the loud music and the fans, you could definitely hear a little yelling going on. So hopefully that kind of lit something under the Firestorm to get them going right now.
You know, I really hope it does, because while ACU does, you know, in our predictions, your prediction, they lead the rebound game. They should be up. Ukta heavily leads Lanier in points scored. Should be up, but they're not. And why? Because of the ability for the Mustangs to dominate the post game as Olivier goes up for the dunk and gets fouled there. He'll go to the line for 2. But other than that, Jordan, ACU has not really had a intent to go to the basket, to really drive with a purpose.
Yeah.
You just haven't seen it like you have with the Mustangs. They've come in, they've battled, they've gone through the paint, and they've been able to really back down ACU.
That's true. It is tough in the zone, though, when they're collapsing and rotating. When you penetrate, you can only penetrate so far because your help defense right there. That's when you want to kick it. Now, Mason Jones did just a great job getting in the middle paint, quick dish out to Oliveira, and I thought that was a great block by the Mustangs, Corey Anderson. But, you know, Oliveira got the call. Probably should have laid it up, but he went over for the dunk, and Anderson was not having it. But, again, it goes back to getting to the paint like you just said. And really, you got to control the game from inside out, whether you're playing versus man or versus zone.
Again, Helms, Oliveira really need to pick it up defensively. You could say Helms is battling that hip injury, and it's keeping him from playing his all out there. But he's not going to make any excuses out there. Great help side defense there. And Newman helping out as well. Get that ball tangled up. And just like that, Newman with the steal to block.
That's what you like to see, your players to get on the floor. Jackson's calling for it. Lost it. Gets it back in the corner. Let's see if they can move this around and get a quick 3.
Newman, good drive in the paint.
Oh,
Dishes
great
Oliveira,
dish.
and up
Great
and in.
dish, Jared. You just saw Newman go up, back, and under. And he just, 3 Mustangs were looking at him. Mateus was wide open. Great vision and awareness from the former college quarterback. And that's probably where he gets it.
Yeah, look at that, directing his offense out there, slipping in a little handoff and up and in for the goal line touchdown, really whatever analogy you want to use. But you can hear this crowd now and the noise from the gymnasium as Stalin tries to drive on Helms. DeVita's three-point attempt is off the mark, boarded by Oliveira, but out of bounds.
Tapped out by
the Mustangs.
Anderson.
And it'll be Firestorm ball. It looks like it's going to be nope, no timeout, excuse me. Whistles were signaled for.
That was very important for ACU to come down. They just tied it. You saw the fans get into it. Hit a three here, and I'm not saying take one, but, man, you could really blow the roof off this place. And Fain just came in for the Mustangs, so that's one guy you keep an eye on, not to let him kind of change momentum with his shooting either.
Does have 11 points here. And, again, Ukta's not in, but look for Newman. Newman has not scored much the second half, but he has assisted. And that three-point attempt, he just
got me happy.
He airballed. He got both of us a little excited. Unfortunately, did airball that. But, you know, that's Newman's game. He was the go-to guy in the first half for ACU. The second half, it's been Ukta, it's been Olivier, it's been Helms, it's been the bigs finally being able to break that zone a little bit. Yeah. And that three-point attempt
and there
buried by Fain.
Just what I say. You see Ukta checking in the game very mad. That's what he does. He's going to come in, and I'm telling you, if he gets going, you have to keep an eye. He can put this game out of reach real quick.
But again, Newman not putting up many points, as I was saying, but facilitating and getting those assists. Jones' three-point attempt. Another, maybe it's that shot spot on the court, but both of them missing terribly on that as Logan goes up to the drive. Blocked. Shot altered by Oliveira. Up comes Jones. If you want to see Jones slow it down here, gets the open three, buries it.
There he is. That's what he does so well. I knew he was going to pull up for a three. You never know, but I just knew he was going to let a couple guys pass. That's what he does, transition three. But now let's play some defense. Get a stop, then turn into points. Get a stop, turn into points. It's a game of runs. That's how you're going to create something for yourself.
And it looks like Anderson tackled Jones. This is physical. We have a lot of ex-football high school players in here. ACU is getting in a football program here to start the spring, something that's brought in a lot of news, a lot of hype, a lot of loud voices to the student section. But we're still playing basketball, and that is a foul. 51-51, we are all tied up here. We got a barn burner, folks, at Fultz Memorial Gymnasium with 5 minutes and 38 seconds remaining in this first round in the GSAC playoff. The Mustangs with 9 team fouls. The Firestorm with 6. It's been a back-and-forth game. No team has had too much of a lead. Helms was wide open there.
I tell you what, ACU's doing a good job getting there. You see how Jackson turned. You want to get in triple threat. Might kind of, Navarre kind of stand still, but you just can't have that jump pass if you're Newman. But
silly turnover
back
there.
To that, if you're Navarre, you got the ball high post. Look for your shot. Navarre could have had a wide open shot. More than capable of hitting that. If not, a wide open Jackson Helms down low. So look for hopefully that play to be looked at again.
And another thing, Lanier has not been in the ball game since about that 17-minute mark when he picked up his third foul. He's played almost this entire game on the bench, and the Mustangs are still in this ball game. Tied it up, have led for a good chunk of it. Stalin kicks it to Ireland's his three off the mark, boarded by Navarre. Up comes Ukta. Ukta at Helms, kicks it out, Block open for three. Jordan Block shot
there
is good.
It is.
And Block hits his first 3
and look
points
at the
of night.
Firestorm bench just up right now. Just really amped. They love Jordan Block. He's a senior here. He's real close with everybody on the team, and you're going to have a Mustangs timeout, so this is what you want to see, Jared.
Yes, very exciting here. The tension building, rising, mounting, anything you want to put it. We got a great game here, folks. ACU leads 54-51 going into this timeout break with 4:27 left on the clock. And this timeout brought to you by VIP Limousines and Coaches. For your charter bus or limousine needs, visit VIP Limousines. And also brought to you by Under Armour, the official partner of Conference Apparel and sport and sponsor of the GSAC All-Conference team. Speaking of the GSAC All-Conference team, the 2013-2014 men's basketball All-GSAC team is Derrick Dickerson of San Diego Christian. He's a senior. Chris Gorman of Vanguard, just a junior. Folks, he is fun to watch. You also have Jeremy Kilgore of Hope International as a senior. Dominique Lanier in tonight's matchup for the Masters, only a junior. Foul trouble, hasn't played much, but look for him to get some time here coming in after this timeout. I would not be surprised if he plays the rest of the game until he fouls out or until the end of regulation. You also have C.J. Miller for Westmont, a senior. Biola senior, Andre Murillo. Garrett Nealon of Hope International, a sophomore. Donnell Pfeiffer of Concordia, a senior, another great player to watch. Of course, our very own Talib Ukta, a senior, lights it up from three. Fun guy on and off the court. great personality. And then you have Preston Wynn from Vanguard, another senior. GSAC Player of the Year goes to Preston Wynn of Vanguard, and Coach of the Year goes to Rhett Soliday of Vanguard.
Yeah, Vanguard really did put together a very impressive season, Jared, playing some tough teams. They lost to Cal State San Marcos, I believe, was the #1 team in the nation, but Vanguard showing they can play with anybody in the country. And you just look at those players, Jared, in the GSAC, and they could start on any team in the nation. A lot of those guys have some experience on the higher level, but again, it just goes to showing how strong this conference is, how exciting these players are to watch.
Helms, great defense also by Navarre. Important thing to note, Jones is on Lanier, and Lanier back into the game after sitting out almost the entire game from foul trouble. And what a nice spin move and hook off the glass by Anderson. Nothing Navarre could have done better defensively.
Tell you what, those big guys down low really kind of keeping Mustangs College in this right now.
Block hits it to Ukta. Ukta back to block, almost mishandled that one. 54-53 Firestorm lead. So far, the Mustangs have given ACU all they have to offer and more, as we have had one of the best opening round games I could have hoped for.
Yeah. Oh, a tough play by Stalin, but a great move. Jordan Block. Ladies and gentlemen, do not be shocked by that move by Jordan Block. He's going back into his high school days. He's one of the top-rated players in the nation. Suffered a bad ankle injury, but that is Jordan Block, ladies and gentlemen. He can dribble, penetrate, shoot, and he's just a very smart player. He's very composed just now.
Oh, yeah, and on the other end, sorry to cut you off.
No,
Jordan.
you're fine.
Logan showing what he can do as well, moving in and out the paint, something he's done 3 or 4 times tonight. But, again, you mentioned Block. He's a bigger guy. You wouldn't expect someone as big as he is to necessarily move like that with the ball.
Well, here's the thing. Like I said, if you go back, I've known Jordan Block now for the past 2 years, getting to know him and understand some of his history and where he's come growing up around basketball. His dad's a coach over in California, has brought up a ton of talent, and Jordan Block just being around it just seems something that comes natural to him. And before that drive, I was just going to mention, we haven't heard a lot of Jordan Block tonight, and a lot of time when he's catching the ball in the zone, he's outside of the paint where he usually does a lot of his damage. But what people don't realize is when he catches in perimeter, he hit a 3, and all of a sudden he just drove and took on all the Masters College and laid it up.
He really did take on all 5
And if you notice, for folks at home, when Jordan Block drove, before he got in the air, he was using his peripherals, looking side to side, and he realized he didn't have anything. He was so far deep, he still went up with it. So, again, Jordan Block is a very smart player. Even though we haven't heard a lot of him tonight, he was an all-conference player last year. He's very comfortable in any position on the basketball court.
Yeah, and, the end of this timeout, it's going to be brought to you by Stretch Internet. Can't make it to the next GSAC game in person? Well, follow Action Live online with the help of Stretch Internet. Look for the next GSAC Internet broadcast tonight when you get home. Speaking of Stretch Internet, that's what we are broadcasting to you on tonight at Fultz Memorial Gymnasium on the beautiful campus of Arizona Christian University, where it has been a wonderful 75 degrees all week. ACU does lead this game by 1, 56-55, just under 3 minutes to play in this ball game. Oliveira sets the screen for Jones. So far, very good defense here in the zone.
There you go, Jordan Block. There we go again, ladies and gentlemen. You just see he's patient, dribbling, uses the screen, and he can get into the lane so quickly. And he's really come out and had a 6-0 run almost by himself, it seems like.
He has put up 7 points in the past about 2 minutes, really providing that spark for ACU.
You have to be happy if you're Coach Rudder right now. I know he just was with that play he just saw. So, you know what? Look for him. He's playing strong defense. Look for him to kind of be the factor here for the Firestorm maybe.
Jordan, I want to say matchup on this possession, the big with Anderson or Lanier here because he in as well. It's going to be interesting to see what Jones can do with him. And that shot is off the mark, but boarded by Logan. And it looks like a foul is going to be called on Olivier, right call.
That was a good call. Olivier came down Logan. Necessarily, I'm not going to say he had full position, but he was over the back. That's an easy call for the ref. And again, if you're Mason Jones, you have to be looking. The assistant coaches need to help out with this too. Mustangs do not shy away from long, distant three-point shots. And as I said right before he shot, he's going to shoot it. You have to get a hand up in that case. And it was a long rebound. Unfortunately, it favored the Mustangs.
And Logan hits the first of his 1-and-1. Again, folks, look for it to come down to free throws here at the end of this game. 6 of 10 the Mustangs are from the free throw line, and 7 of 11 for ACU. So ACU's definitely turned it on late, knocking down those free throws. Oh, missed opportunity there for the Mustangs, but rebounded by Logan.
There's that spin move dump off to Stalen, and he's just like that. It's a tie ball game. And Logan didn't score that point, but he put the Mustangs in position, and that's exactly what he can do for a team.
And Stalen now about double digits with 11 to go along with Anderson with 13 and Fain with 14 for his fellow teammates. That ball was tipped. It'll remain ACU ball. Just under 18 on the shot clock. Olivier gets it down, swings it over to Block. Block open for 3. Lucky no travel call there. Newman open for 3. Got it!
Great call.
61-58 ACU lead. Minute 35 left in the second half.
I don't want to keep harping on him, but Jordan Block just so smart. And as I said, he uses peripherals. A lot of times he take that shot. He's matured over this year a lot in unselfishness. And talking to him earlier this year, he's been realizing, hey, we need to go inside out more. He penetrates, kicks it out. Jordan Block's really playing all-around smart basketball tonight.
This timeout brought to you by iTex. Want to support the GSAC and Arizona Christian or the Masters College if you're listening in California? Well, then sign up for iTex and receive information from GSAC partners. By signing up, your school and conference will receive proceeds from iTex. For more information, go to the GSAC website at www.gsacsports.org. Again, that's www.gsacsports.org. And welcome back, folks. If you are just tuning in, you've picked a pretty good time because the ACU Firestorm lead the Masters College Mustangs 61-58 under a minute and a half to go as Denier drives for 2. He picks up 2 points there. He has been on the bench for most of the game with 3 fouls. Even in the first half was on the bench
Coach
for
Rudder,
most of the game.
Oh, look at this belief. You come out of a timeout. Masters, obviously, they're going to have a set play set up, so you got to come out and be ready. They just played what I like to call Swiss cheese defense. There's holes all over the place and an easy lay-in for an all-conference player. That just can't happen.
Yeah, it's we got ourselves a great game. We've seen guys like Newman playing out of his mind, just a sophomore, but doing anything it takes for his team to win 17 points, 2 steals, 5 assists, 5 boards. Ukta, of course, all GSAC players, 17 points, 2 assists, a board, and a steal. You have Block, who's come on so well in these last 3 minutes with 7 points. Helms has 3, Navarre has 2, Cornelius 1, Olivier with 8. But the Mustangs, they have played a phenomenal game. Ireland with 8. Lanier, the GSAC player on the all-GSAC team with 5. Again, most of the game in foul trouble. Even Logan has 7. Fain, the huge with 14 points. Patero with 2. But Anderson and Stalen, the 2 bigs with 13 and 11 respectively, have really, Jordan, you mentioned every one of those guys. Overall, team effort on both sides. It's just been a fun game to watch.
Yeah, no, it definitely has, and hats off to Mustangs. I really thought it was going to be close. Their record, they're better than what the record showed, and they still won 18 games this year.
Well, they play in the GSAC conference, and arguably one of the toughest conferences in the NAIA.
Exactly. Now, Jared Watts, he's got a quick time out there, only down 1. You see Dan Cornelius has checked in, one of the better, smarter inbounders for ACU. So you're going to see a little bit of pressure, and if need be, they'll foul. But not foul. They have plenty of time. ACU's going to have to shoot the ball, and they're only down 1. So look for their pressure. It looks like they're in man now. Masters College has switched over to man.
Interesting to see what happens here. Under a minute to play. Helm's going to set a screen for Newman. Again, it is man-to-man. Newman nowhere to go. Swings it to Jones. Jones drives the lane. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. 3. Jones nowhere to go, just chucks it up and gets
But he got
fouled.
the foul.
He gets the foul as the buzzer rings, and he's going to have a chance at 2 free throws for a chance. Oh, my goodness.
That's going to go against Staley. Now, I didn't see it because it was on the backside of the court away from us. But if you're the Masters College, that absolutely kills you because not only, you go on the line, you're going to get 2 free throws because they're in the double bonus whether you're shooting or not. But, I mean, you had a chance to get the ball back with plenty of time on the clock to take the lead with 1 basket. So Mason Jones hitting the first one big. He can push this to a 3-point game right now.
And that would be huge for ACU. But, Jordan, I would argue more importantly for the Mustangs, yes, you didn't get that possession after playing great defense for 34 seconds, 34.5 seconds, whatever you want to say. But Stalin just picked up his 4th foul. If you go into OT or late here down the stretch where you need a 2-point bucket or something, he is going to be a key factor. He and Anderson have been huge all night along with Fain. And plus you have Lanier here as Jones gets the friendly home rim roll. And it's a 63-60 lead going into this timeout break. Folks, are you looking for GSAC merchandise? Look no further than the GSAC Fan Shop. Check out the latest t-shirts, sweatshirts, polo shirts, or performance tees for your favorite GSAC school. Click on the Fan Shop button on the GSAC website.
I'll tell you what, Jared, right now you're going to see Masters College. ACU's not going to pressure. They're going to be in their backcourt. Masters College is going to come right back. Maybe look for the ball to get into Lanier's hands, possibly Fain's or Logan's. One of those 3 guys up top of the key. You're going to see a high screen, maybe a pick and roll or an open 3. So ACU has to do a better job listening to what Coach Rutter is saying right now and come out and, execute on the defensive end. You cannot just let them come out, cut a quick basket because what that's going to do, cut it from 63 to 62. If this is the same scenario what happened last time. The coach for Coach Martin for Mustangs could be saying, hey, we get a made basket, we're pressuring full court, cause a turnover. All of a sudden this game's going in a different direction. So ACU has to have their best defensive possession right here out of this timeout.
Jordan, you bring up a great point. The last time the Mustangs called a timeout when ACU scored, it was like taking candy from a baby. It was the easiest 2-point basket I think I have ever seen under a minute after a timeout. I mean, it was just like Logan just drove in, thank you so much, defense. Merry Christmas. Here's 2 points for me. Let me tally it up at the stat sheet. So it'll be interesting to see if ACU doesn't look like they're going to apply any pressure right here. So they're going to sit back, but you got to take it to the Mustangs too. You got to be smart because you foul them here. They're going to the line for a 1-and-1, stops the clock, gives them a chance at 2 points. It cuts into your very narrow 3-point lead.
I'm anxious to see who's going to – you have Jason Temp, a little bit athletic and tall on Fain, keeping him maybe from the 3. Who do you have on Lanier, though, is
the question. Looks like you're going to put Helms on Lanier.
It might got to switch, but Jackson just trying to stay in front of him. Big physical body. Fain's going to have to force a 3 here. Jason
airballs it, but boarded by Stalin. Huge rebound for him.
That's okay. The shot clock did not reset because it was an air ball. And now you're going to have a timeout. So you didn't get that rebound. You didn't expect it to do that. Great defense by Jackson Helms. Great defense by Jason Timp to close out the shot straight up. Didn't impede a shot or foul him. But now you only have 17 seconds. So if they miss this shot, Jared, they're going to be forced to foul. But beware, if they get a quick 2 and then they decide to foul, it could be, 63-62 and ACU misses one or both free throws. It's a different ball game. So very important possession, both ends. Well, I didn't even have to mention that. I believe everybody watching the game knows that.
And this timeout brought to you by the Westfall Athletic Fund. The Westfall Athletic Fund is dedicated to honoring the spiritual, educational, and athletic legacy of Paul Westfall. Together, members of the Westfall Fund provide invaluable support for all Arizona Christian University student-athletes. Every gift has a positive impact on their ability to succeed in the classroom, in competition, and in community. Welcome back, folks. If you are just tuning in, you picked a pretty good time as ACU leads 63-60 over the visiting number 7 ranked in conference Mustangs. ACU ranked number 2 in the GSAC, number 15 in the country. And, folks, we got ourselves a great game here.
I expect somewhat of a quick 3 for the Mustangs. They're going to ring it. Fain with a flare screen, and that's his
Fain knocks down that three. 17 seconds left in the ballgame. Look for, Coach Rudder's going to call this timeout early. I expected him to call it maybe if they couldn't find an open look, but 15.3 seconds left. Tie game. Jordan, what do you do? I mean, you were one of the student coaches last year. What is Coach Rudder drawing up?
First of all, I'm going to go back and give credit to the Mustangs. I really feel they've done such a great job coming out of timeouts and executing, and that was run almost to perfection. ACU got hung up on the backside screen. Fain ran a perfect flare, didn't hesitate on a shot, and really once he released it, you could tell it was in from our angle. Now moving on to the Firestorm. Mustang College, you're in the bonus. You can't foul, but you want to put a little pressure. If you're Coach Rudder, a 2-ball wins it, but I'm going to look for him to put the ball in Ukta or Newman's hands and possibly go one-on-one and get a foul. If not, he might have some guys rolling down with him for an easy kick-out shot. But to me, given the foul situation, the time on the clock, I'm going to look for Rudder to get Newman or one of his guards down into the paint to either get a foul or the N1.
I like that, Jordan. Let's go back to the beginning of the program. You said rebounds would win. ACU is out rebounding 28 to 20. So far, you're in the clear. I'm getting your prediction. My prediction, the key player, Ukta, all GSEC team, and Lanier, all GSEC team. Whichever one scores the most points gets the dub. So far, Ukta has more. I'm in line for the win. We got ourselves a tie ball game, 63 apiece. 15.3 seconds left. I will throw one more prediction out just so I can say I was 2 for 2 because I'm a very competitive person. I'm going to say Ukta knocks down the game winner, and I don't care whether it's a 3 or 2. It's just going to happen.
They're going to trap him right away, and there you go, Newman, dribbling. You do not – now, this is where you're careful. Coach Rudder may have just run that to see what the Mustangs are going to come out in. He saw they're going to pressure. That kind of was – threw me off a little bit if I have to make a prediction. I thought Mustang we're going to play a little pressure but not trap at all.
I agree with that.
A lot of times you may get caught up and hip check a guy, and that's an easy foul, and you're going to the line for points. So Mustang kind of caught me off guard a little bit with the defense. Coach Rudder going to draw something else up. Mateus, the big guy, going in and see if they do something with that.
Yeah, I mean, I would not be surprised. ACU ticks it down to about 5 seconds, get a screen for Ukta or even Newman. But again, I'm going to stick with my prediction and say Ukta will drive to the lane or gets the open 3. I mean, obviously what we would all love to see here if you are a Firestorm fan, somehow the ball getting knocked down for ACU with no time on the clock. The Masters unable to respond because hats off to the Mustangs of the Masters College. Hands down, y'all have played a wonderful game coming in. You know what? A lot better, Jordan, like you said, than their record shows. 18-11 overall, 6-8 in conference. The GSEC is a very tough conference, but the Masters College is a good team. Great coach, great players.
They have talent, Jared. If they win
Phenomenal.
this game to make it to the conference title game, I don't have any doubt in that. And it's now just like it comes down to one defensive stop for the Mustangs and one good execution by the Firestorm. And if we execute like Mustangs did just a second ago, we might have a victory on our hands, but we'll see. Mustangs are playing some real fine basketball.
Mustangs with Stalin, Logan, Fain, Lanier, Anderson on the court. ACU with Helms, Block, Ukta, Newman, and Oliveira. 9 seconds remaining. Helms gets it to Newman. 7 seconds.
They're trying to get Ukta up on a top shot. They're going to single him out.
He's going to drive. Hits the deep 3. It is airballed, and it will be going into overtime. Jordan, to be completely honest with you, I didn't like that shot. I felt like Ukta maybe could have pump faked or drawn, gotten maybe a little closer to the basket. We've seen him bury threes from farther than that. Maybe I'm just a little frustrated.
It's predictable, and I really feel like everybody's eyes in the gym, the coaches in the Masters College, eyes were on Ukta. You knew they were going to run it. Right away they set it up. Very predictable. Sometimes when you're in offense, you want to kind of go non-predictable where you don't know where you're going to set a pick. And everyone knew he was going to Ukta. I would have liked to see Brendan Newman take him one-on-one because he has such a phenomenal pull-up jumper, even with the defender on him. If not, he can get into the lane and maybe draw a foul. So not exactly what you want to see, but it's going to be an intense 5 minutes of overtime.
It is going to be a very intense 5 minutes. And you know what? ACU does this all the time. They play in close ball games. Granted, sometimes they should win. Sometimes they honestly should lose games that they win. But it's something they're known for. So, folks, for listening, thank you so much. It has been a heart-pounding game ever since the get-go. Jordan, hoped it would be a very close game with ACU winning. Me personally, I would have liked a comfortable 10-point lead, but a very hard-fought game on both sides. And so far, folks, we have had a great first-round game. ACU most likely has already clinched a spot to Nationals. Most likely. Again, nothing is set in stone because they did not win the GSEC outright. However, it does look good for them. They're sitting pretty. However, the Mustangs need to win this tournament to make it to Nationals. That is something they're playing for. The seniors want to go out with a chance to go to Nationals. Everyone wants to go out. You don't want it to ever be your last game. You're going to leave it all on the court.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're playing like, Jared. You just see the stat line. I mean, you've mentioned that all day. The Mustangs are just playing evenly across the board. Everyone's giving it all and fighting hard. And you know, when it's possibly your last game, that's what you cannot be more happy if you're Coach Chuck Martin and just the effort of your guys giving right now, giving yourselves a chance to win.
Important thing to note, Lanier is playing in this overtime period with 3 fouls. Stalin playing with 4 and Oliviera for ACU with 3. So those 3 important players, 1 for ACU, 2 for the Mustangs. Got to watch out for that as Stalin's able to back down Helms, pick up 2 points. And they lead 65-63.
If you're ACU, you do not want to get away from what's worked. Continue to move the ball, break down the zone.
And you know what a nice move from Helms to Oliveira, and they just called a very late whistle.
Wow.
Oliveira will go to the line for 2. I do not agree with that.
Yeah, we're both Firestorm fans, but that was a very late call.
Questionable.
Oliveira was going for a reverse. I didn't even see any contact on the way up, but you know, I guess you'll take it in certain situations. But
Logan's 3rd foul as well. Oliveira knocks down that free throw. I mean, obviously we'll take it. But, you know, and that's something I'd like to say. Officiating, by far, one of the best officiated GSAC games I have witnessed as Oliveira knocks down that free throw and ties it up here so far this season. So hats off to you, officials. Great job, guys. As Fain kicks it to Logan. Logan drives on block, gets the ball stolen, blocked with the block himself, and takes that away. 65-65, approaching the 4-minute mark here at the first overtime period. A great move by Helms up and in. ACU takes a 67-65 lead. First time Helms has put up some points in quite a bit of time, but picked a great time to do it. Crowd getting very noisy here. Everybody on their feet. Block on Logan. Last possession, he did block him. Fain with the 3. They're setting up for the 3 on Ukta. You do have Helms on Stalin. Nice move in the paint by Fain. Rebounded by Ukta. Up comes Ukta.
I think Oliveira might have tipped that one right at the last second there. ACU with a prime spot in his last, 3 minutes left, but 67-65, you can make it a 2-possession game right here.
And great job by Ukta. He wanted to push it, but backed it down. That senior leadership, knowing when to push, when to not. Great job, great seniority. Block into Helms. Helms kicks it back to Ukta, back to Newman. 10 seconds and counting on the shot clock. Helms into Oliviera. Nice move from Oliviera, and he doesn't get it to fall, but rebounded by Helms.
Jackson Helms really getting banged around in there. He crashed the rim hard. It was a 50-50 ball. Sometimes that's what they say in soccer, but playing tremendously tough. And I'm surprised he didn't get a call. The refs letting a lot of physicality go right now.
I love to see that, but with Helms injuring his hip, you'd like to maybe see a call there as he had to get bumped around. Jackson Helms' parents in the crowd tonight. Gotta love seeing that, as well as his younger
brother. Great play there. They're going to call it on the foul. Matea's great position. Anderson had no choice but to foul and block a great inbound play.
That's going to be on Anderson. That is now Anderson's 5th foul. He has fouled out of this ball game, folks. That is a huge blow to the Mustangs as they already trail by 2 with 2 minutes and 52 seconds remaining, and Oliviera on the charity stripe for 2 freebies.
Jared just kind of hit on the second half stats we just received from Justin Koski, our stats guy here for ACU. You kind of see the differences in half. Fain only had 3, finished the regular the second half was 17 points, so he definitely caught fire. And then
Ukta lit it up too with 11.
Definitely did. So both those guys looked to them to stay hot for each team. Of course, Fain hit that 3 to tie it for the Mustangs.
And again, you know, it's going to come down to free throws. Oliviera hit 2 clutch ones his last possession to tie the game at 65 as Logan drove and picked up 2. And he makes 1 of 2 here. does extend that lead to 3. ACU and both the Mustangs, the biggest lead of the game, I want to say, is about 4 or 5 points, and it was the Mustangs who had it, not ACU. Fain coming off the screen. Ukta playing great defense on him. Ball goes to Stalen. Stalen with the drive on Oliveira, and he missed it. Rebound, Oliveira kicks it to Newman. 2 great defensive possessions by the Firestorm, stopping that floaters in the lane for the Mustangs. They lead by 3, just around 2 minutes to play in the first round of this playoff in the GSAC.
You see Mustangs kind of back in the zone right now. They were showing man. They're going to fall back in the zones, kind of what's been working for most of the game.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Got to be wary of that.
We're going to see a one-on-one. Newman's going to launch it from deep.
3, and unfortunately got the wrong roll there. Went over the basket. That was a good shot. He was open, has the range.
Well,
You'd maybe like to see something get inside a little bit more.
Yeah, when you're rushed, again, I just think some players are kind of impatient. He could have easily taken one extra dribble with how quick his release is.
Had 3 shots
and hit a shot, because all shots you see like that are from deep have been short, so they take one more step in. That was an unfortunate N1 from the all-conference Lanier.
Yeah, Lanier gets that to fall. Foul's going to be on Jordan
Block. Huge play right now for the Mustangs.
That is blocked
if he can
first
knock
foul.
This down.
You're right. It would tie the game up at 3 and minute 55 remaining.
It's just a collapse on the defensive end, and even more so, just a great athletic play and finish by Lanier, who's going to finish the three-point play, and it's tied.
As Newman takes the ball up the court here for the Firestorm.
Trying to get some backside movement for the Firestorm, some screens away. Got Ukta the ball. See what they're going to do with it.
Blocked, or Newman Oliveira shot off the mark. Rebounded by the Mustangs. Up comes Lanier.
Not the
Ukta
best
falls
shot.
down. Fain with the 3, and it is good.
I'm telling you, Jared, you just see it time and time again from Fain when he plays. He's a confident shooter. He just hit that same exact shot to tie it. Now he gave his team 3-point lead.
And going into this timeout, the Mustangs lead your Firestorm 71-68. The first lead the Mustangs have had in over 20 minutes.
It really sucked the life out of this gym. You see our student section's not even up right now, and typically at home you would be, but Fain, ACU the past couple times, just I don't know if it's lackadaisical defense, but just not getting to the guy.
Ukta has been guarding Fain. He did trip over something, which allowed Fain to get open. Newman tried to help out. But Fain, he's played one of the best games, he could have played tonight. 20 points, a rebound, and a steal, and only a foul. I mean, you can't blame the guy. He's put up some incredible shots. ACU has struggled at times to guard him, though. So
he shoots well. It seems like he always plays the Firestorm so well. He studies film, I'm sure, and he pinpoints certain tendencies of certain players who are going to be on him. And he's a smart player. And again, he steps into the spotlight and he'll knock down a shot. And he's really this second half, Jared, he scored 20 points.
Yeah.
Or 17 points just in second half and overtime. And if it weren't for his 3 to send it in overtime, and now he gave his team a 3-point lead. So ACU needs to come down and execute. You don't even need a 3 in this
You really
case.
don't, and that's what you got to hope some of these guys don't chuck up a 3 and panic. You have plenty of time here for a quick 2. Newman open.
That was a great play call, though. Kind of like the Masters, what they drew up.
And, great hustle there by Helms, but even more hustle
you gotta appreciate
the Mustangs. Player there, number 14, Derrick Fain, lighting it up in the scoreboard since the first half. 17 points in the second half in overtime. 19 seconds on the clock as he knocks that ball out of bounds. ACU's got to get it off.
ACU had a good play call. Just Mustangs did a great job rotating.
Ukta's deep 2 off the mark and rebounded by Stalen.
I don't agree with that shot. It's very forced. You get no corner, a difficult shot, and now you have to play catch up, Jared.
I don't think Helms. I don't know if Coach Rutter wanted Helms to foul Stalen there or not. He is going to go to the line for, it looks like 2. Excuse me, it'll be a 1-and-1. But I feel like I would rather like to see them play defense there, get a stop, and be down 3 instead of being down 4, possibly 5. with under a minute to play.
And this where you listen to timeouts, or you have to understand the game of basketball.
Well, apparently it worked too. Newman gets the ball again. Don't need a three. Can settle for a quick two and a good defensive possession. And let's see what ACU does. They're very stagnant right now. Coach Rutter not happy with the way his team is playing.
The Firestorm, he's frustrated. Has to call a timeout. I just don't know what they're doing right now.
I agree. I mean, I don't think they know what they're doing right now, Jordan. To be quite candid with you, I mean, they're out there running around, dribbling around, and they don't have time to do that. They just wasted about 7 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, and Coach Rutter, you just hear him. You have to go. Like, you get stagnant. You're just dribbling off time. If you miss a shot, that's time you can't get back to foul or, get another shot off your next possession. You have a chance. Or you had a chance to get a shot off. If you make it, they have to use the shot clock. So, I don't know. You just got to be ready and aware in those situations.
Yeah, I mean, the Mustangs playing great. Right now, they just want to play some solid defense. If you give up a 2-point shot, you give up a 2. But ACU is going to have to foul you because there's not enough time. The shot clock will get reset. It will be turned off here after this possession. So you're going to have a chance at 2 free throws coming up. And if ACU can't find a basket here, it gives you a chance to go up 4 or 5, possibly put this game out of reach, further advance on to the tourney, and get a chance again at KC and Nationals. Again, ACU most likely locked up a spot here. But the last thing you want to do is think you have it, be number 2 in the GSAC, 15th ranked overall, lose this first round game to Masters, and not make Nationals.
Yeah.
Coming off of it would be a very disappointing season after they came out of nowhere. First year in the GSAC last year and came in second in the championship game.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if you're a Masters fan at home or a family member, you have to be on your feet, excited for what your team has been doing for you guys and their institution tonight. And again, they're giving themselves a shot to play for a national title, and that's all you got to ask for your guys. It's never easy to come on the road and play in Arizona.
Newman deep 3 off the mark, but he picks up his own board, swings it over to Jordan Block. Jordan Block's 3 is good. He knocks it down and brings this stadium back to life. 71-71 with 20 seconds remaining. Right now, if you're ACU, though, you got to play shutdown, hard-nosed defense.
Jordan Block just with some incredible composure. And let's go back before that. Newman missed his shot.
Great hustle by Brandon Newman.
This is what you never see, or lack thereof, is a player follow his own shot. Not only did he miss it, he ran to the opposite side of the court, saved it, found Jordan. Block just without a hesitation. Hey, I'm going to hit this 3. Great play and effort by ACU. Now let's get a stop on the defensive end. That was very exciting.
Oh, Jordan, my heart is pounding right now. I know I'm all stuffed up through some sinus stuff and allergies here as it has started to warm up a little bit in Phoenix, Scottsdale area. But, oh, my goodness, what a great game. For those of you just tuning in, you missed a great first half. You missed a great second half. And you picked a decent time, 15 seconds left in this first overtime period. Knowing our Firestorm, there very well could be a second. And, there hasn't been a third overtime yet since head coach Jeff Rutter's taken over. But who knows?
I'll tell you what, ACU always loves to get in these overtime games in the playoffs. Last year, we had one regular season Concordia double overtime loss in the thrilling GSAC title game. And now
this year there's been a few double overtime losses. We lost to Masters in double overtime at their place. 77-76.
But I'll tell you what, this is worth the price of admission. The game was a slow start. We were talking off air. At halftime, this is one of the worst first half we've seen, or either team, especially for our Firestorm. But now the second half, you only scored, what was the score at half, Jared? 25-22, and now you have each team putting up, almost 50 points in the second half and overtime. So definitely a lot more excitement for a basketball game as well.
And here we go, folks. 15.1 seconds remaining here at Fulton Memorial Gymnasium in this first round in the GSAC playoff tournament. 71-71. Lanier has the ball. Look for Lanier or again Fain. He has been the thorn in ACU's side all game long. Their Fain's ball
turnover possibly.
And it
jump
is
ball,
a
jump ball, and that's going to go
ACU
to the Firestorm's way, I think.
With 1.9 seconds remaining.
Wow, and you're going to see maybe a quick shot. Look at Mason Jones. He is ecstatic. He's in the game. Great defensive effort by the Firestorm. Jackson kind of faked, made the guy hesitate. Jordan Block, great defensive, staying in front of his guy in Lanier. And just a a bobbly pass, but nonetheless, they at least did not get a shot.
Great hustle by Ukta to be able to jump all over that ball. But look right here, if you're the Masters, the last thing you want to do is pick up a little foul here as Newman's half-court shot is,
short. Jared, that was on the money,
It was on the money. From our view, it was on the money. But once again, we have a double overtime game. Now, I would hope that we win this game. Obviously, we are ACU fans here. We go to school here. We broadcast here. However, this has been one heck of a ball game. Win or lose, ACU goes on, the Masters goes on. This is just what you love to see, players playing great playoff basketball.
Yeah, they're just playing their tails off on both ends, especially down to the end, doing things what they need to do to get stops or hit shots. And I'll tell you what, Jared, I got a lot of experience last year being a student assistant coach with ACU. The year before, I was fortunate enough to work with a Division I men's NCAA team and saw a lot of great action, some big-time schools. But this has been one of the most exciting games in the past 3 years I've actually been able to witness, let alone been a part of, and calling the game with you. And it's just been exciting. It's been fun calling with you and the emotions. And then I just can't say enough. ACU, we expect them always to fight hard, and not saying we don't expect that the Mustangs, but just their overall play from, the 5 starters to 3 deep in their bench. They're just playing amazing.
What I've loved to see, though, Jordan,
right now
is that, during the year, ACU, granted, they destroyed non-conference. 1 loss, 13 wins. Started off GSAC very rough. They played very shaky for most of the GSAC season. However, these last 4 games,
Justin Cossey coming in, ladies and gentlemen,
with more overtime stats. Sorry, Jordan. But you know what? It was a 76-77 win for the Masters College Mustangs just about a couple months ago when ACU traveled there, and the Masters squeaked out a win there. Here, let's see if ACU can't do the same thing. I don't necessarily want to see 77-76, but I want to see a win here and move on in the next round. As Ukta swings it over to Newman, does have block on the wing. Get it to Olivier down in and under Helms, back down, and Helms gets fouled. He'll go to the line for 2, and I think they're going to call that one on Petero. They are. That is going to be on Chris Petero. That is his first personal foul.
I didn't really see. I thought that was a pretty clean block from our
that.
angle. I think the backside ref down the baseline called that one, but kind of we saw that earlier with the Oliveira call. But hopefully Jackson Helms can knock these down. He's short on the first one.
Now 1 of 3 from the line tonight.
I'll tell you what, the percentages overall have kind of raised. We started out 42.9. Now Firestorm are actually 48%, but man, Masters College is shooting near 53%.
As Helms bricks both of those free throws. Not something you want to see if you're a Firestorm fan, but if you're a Mustang fan, that is good news. Logan open for 3, block on him. Again, look for Ukta on Fain. Fain been the Achilles heel for ACU all night long. Logan with the nice spin, kicks it out to Petero. Drives in. Looks like he was walking. And they're going to call an and 1. To be honest, I thought he was traveling.
I thought he packed his bags and took a trip there. It was a great pump fake, but Mateus came over, and he just kind of sidestepped him, took another step into the paint and laid it in. He got the and 1. So I guess some people believe in that stuff, they got the call down here against them, and now they got one for them.
Well, the huge thing is that's a 3-point play. Granted, very early in the second overtime period, 74-71 Mustang lead, but nonetheless, that's something you can't do because Anderson's already out of the game. He hurt you all night long on the boards with the hook shots, with that big post game. Stalen not necessarily has hurt you, does have 13 points, but was the least, I guess, I could say, Achilles of the 2.
Newman's so tough. Jackson Helms coming flying in. He lands and hits his head. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Jackson Helms is getting up.
Getting up very slow. And you know what? I don't know if it's his head, but I would argue more of his, possibly his hip too.
He hit his head. He's holding his head. I think you kind of heard it. He made an incredible play to finish and make sure he's okay.
And it looks like we got some
and I didn't even see Jared. Did you see what happened down this?
I did not. I was looking at Jackson Helms, but it looks like there's some disagreement here. Obviously, ACU fans wanting the ball but I believe there's something as far as the ball going out of bounds to where, or a travel or a jump ball, something, but Coach Runner not happy that the Mustangs still have possession.
Jackson Helms a little shaken up. He's going to go see the trainer. I think he's going to do a quick, not necessarily a concussion test, just make sure he's all right.
Fain's three is good. He now has 23 points in the ball game, a 4-point lead for the Mustangs, but ACU needs to be very careful here and not just chuck up threes to chuck one up. You got to make sure you got an open shot and a good shot. But, I really believe back on the other end, if deep three by Ukta, and it is off the mark, but rebounded by Oliveira. I really wish he would have taken that ball up. He had a wide open, too.
Newman just, he telegraphed that pass. He looked there the whole time. The Masters defender just watched it come right into him. Jared, he should have taken that wide open three.
Oh, he should have. He had it well.
He's been shooting well for most part of the game.
Oliveira had a wide open, too. All he had to do was take a step back and knock in an easy layup. So look for the Mustangs here to take some time off the clock. 4 seconds.
Tell you what,
they lead by 4.
Wide open. Great defense by Newman. Just blocked that and ripped it away. And now he's going to pull out. There it is.
Got it.
You could just tell.
76-77
maybe that's what he was waiting for. He's waiting for a defender on him because he loves it. Now he's pumped, and he just caused that defensive stop into 3, so look for him to maybe get another one.
That's the first points Brandon Newman has scored since about midway through the second half. Couldn't have come at a better time for ACU. Got
Jackson
the crowd
Helms.
back in it. Helms looking to come back in.
Hopefully he's okay with that. Anytime you get a head or neck injury, it's always scary. But
again, Ukta on Fain, going to be a very huge matchup. Fain flopping on the ground there. Ref's very smart, no call. 7 seconds remaining. Lanier with the push-off, and they called it.
A great call right now.
Jordan, was that Jordan block?
Coach Martin very upset. That might have been Mason Jones in. I thought I saw him in earlier. Martin not happy, just going one-on-one. And you could tell, Jared, there's people in front of us. You could just see the extension in the push-off from here.
More importantly than is this foul, it is ACU ball. You're only up 1 if you're the Mustangs, but that is the 4th foul on Lanier. One more and he's out of the game.
I'll tell you what, though, with Fain, the way he's playing and shooting, that's the guy I worry about.
I would agree. And if you're the Mustangs right now, you got to be worried about Brandon Newman. Why? Because Ukta hasn't necessarily killed you. Does have 17 points, but nothing going on in the first overtime period and nothing so far in the second overtime period. Helms did not get the call there.
Coach Rudder absolutely upset. And if you're going to call a foul, that's the one to call, not the ones earlier we thought could have gone the other way. But very unfortunate.
Helms not getting any calls tonight here late in the overtime period. Fell hard after he knocked down one basket. Ukta almost gets the steal there. And you got Stalen backing down Helms. 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. That ball, good defense by Navarre. 5 seconds remaining.
He's going to shoot it from deep. He's going to pull up.
Patero, 1 second remaining. That shot is off the mark by Stalen.
There you go. Control that ball.
Newman has the ball here. Stalen all over him. Newman with the great drive up and in, and it is a foul.
Newman's such a smart play. He used one of the Mustang players in
Stalen to shield him all the way up and just threw it up. He used it
kind of like a moving screen, like, hey, man, you're going to bulldoze my way through here. And he actually got the foul called on him as well because by the time Stalen realized, he turned around and fouled him.
And that is the 5th foul for Stalen. He is now fouled out of this ball game. That is huge.
I'll tell you what, I don't even want to give him. I'll cop it up for Stalen.
Oh, I will tell you, Stalen played. Stalen and Anderson, the 2 postmen, the 2 bigs for the Mustangs.
And
they were huge.
He's had a frustrating game. There's some scrap, but he's played just his tail off tonight, fighting, creating opportunities for the Mustangs. That's unfortunate. You never want to see somebody have a good game and go out like that, but that's off to Stalen tonight.
Oh, he definitely gave it his all. And only a junior forward. You do have Anderson and Stalen both as juniors. Folks, you heard it from me first. Look for them next year to be huge in the GSAC as Newman's first free throw in and out. And again, it's free throws. Comes down to it. Now, if Newman can hit this, you do have 1:11 left. Plenty. You look about 2-3 possessions for each team coming up and down.
Jared, my prediction, the winner of this game, regardless of outcome, Mustangs or the Firestorm, are going to make it at least to the conference title game, meaning they're going to go on and win their next game. I see the effort here right now tonight. They're going to be a little tired, a quick turnaround, playing 2 overtime, but I really think that they're just going to use the momentum from a win like this to get them to the conference title game at least.
Newman playing some great defense on Lanier. Lanier's shot is missed, rebounded by Petero, and he gets it to fall. Great board by Chris Petero, and a tip for him.
I was just about to brag on Mike Navarre. Had great help side defense, came over last second, altered the shot, and just unfortunate Petero for the Firestorm got the tip in, but great help side and aggressive attack for Mike Navarre.
We haven't said Petero's name much tonight, and Block, okay, I'm not going to lie, Jordan Block really lucked out there because he lost that ball going up. Unfortunate because it could have been an easy layup, but very well could have been called a charge as well.
Yeah, it could have. I think who was the number 11, Logan? I think he was kind of moving back as Block was coming in. So
Jordan, it was on Bernard Ireland.
Bernard. So whoever was guarding him, last I saw, it looks like they're kind of falling back with him. That's why it wasn't a charge. Yeah, but very fortunate for Block. He's going to the free throw line now. Dead quiet in here.
You could have heard a pin drop there as Block unfortunately missed that one. There are 30.9 seconds left, so free throws very, very, very important down the stretch.
Go back. Newman missed one earlier. Mateus missed one. Or Jackson missed. Helms missed one.
And Block missed both.
Now you got a foul.
You do. You're down 2. You got a foul and knock down a 3, hopefully.
Or maybe, I don't know. The fans are quiet. I'm not sure what the Firestorm are trying to do.
Maybe, okay.
Valuable seconds go off the clock, but it could pay out for him because
Logan is 1 for 2 on the night from threes or from the free throw line. So we'll see. I mean, that's huge. And he misses that one, but Jordan, it does not matter if Block could have knocked down 2 points for ACU.
Yeah.
But shoulda, coulda, woulda. It does not matter. It's the past. But free throws gonna come down here, and then.
Free throws are so important, Jared, and we could.
Oliviera in now for Block.
If you want to get technical, we could have a 1-point lead here, but hopefully Logan will miss this one, and Firestorm will give themselves another shot.
Buries that, so we got a 3-point lead for the Mustangs. 80-77 they lead. Last time this happened, Newman came down, missed a 3, but Block hit the 3 to get it. Newman to Ukta. Ukta swings it back to Newman. 10 seconds on the clock. You're going to have to get it off here. Newman in the corner. 5 seconds remaining. Ukta with 3 seconds. He's going to have to get the ball off.
He's not going to get a shot off,
and he didn't even get the shot off. ACU is going to lose the game here in the first round playoff at home. Coach Rudder talking with the referee here.
I wonder if Coach Rudder thought he called the timeout, and Coach Rudder just can't believe it. The refs are walking off the court. Coach Rudder just his jaws dropped. I never heard this quiet after a game, win or lose right now. Masters they're moving on. ACU just lost a double overtime game, which has never gone their way. But Jared, I really have no idea what just happened there.
I really don't. They're going to drop this one 80-77. But you're right, Jordan. A double overtime game just doesn't seem to go the Firestorm's way. Congratulations to the Masters College Mustangs, as they are going to come out with a win here at a very tough environment at ACU. Some leading scorers here for your Firestorm. Brandon Newman with 21. Ukta with 17. Block did have 10 points. Late down the stretch, tore it up. Olivier with 11. Helms did have 8. Ireland had 8 for the Mustangs. Lanier with 8. Fain 23 killed ACU tonight. And then you had Anderson and Stalin with 15 and 14 respectively. But overall, folks, you got a shocker here. The number 7 ranked Mustangs in the GSAC upset the number 2 ranked Firestorm. Most likely ACU will still make the national tournament KC, but we're going to have to wait as the Mustangs will move on and play Saturday. That's all of it from here at ACU. From Jared Storr and Jordan Stutz, good night and God bless.